Let's say being there in the warm weather in Florida.
Yeah, it's clammy today, but it was very, very hot the past 2 days, like really hot.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. I like it. Just give me 2 seconds.
I took myself down to the pool a few times for a bit.
I like it, lad. Make the most.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! How do I let this? Sorry, I'm getting loads of beeps because it's not just letting people in automatically. Just give me 2 seconds to fix this. What's crack, Tig?
Gents, what's going on? Conor, how are you doing?
How you doing, Tig? Doing good?
Fair play to you. I texted your coach back in there like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Dara and I were driving home from training there, and I was chatting to Adam McCann Gibbs.
Yeah.
And by accident, Siri was obviously just listening, so it heard Adam. It then texts your coach a load of gibberish. It was weird. It was a weird text. I won't get into it now, but it was a weird text. I've never had it happen before. And then he texts me back going, "Yo, I think this is meant for someone else." And I was like, "Oh no, coach, it wasn't." And I tried to explain it to him, but if you're chatting to him and he says something, he laughed about it. But
he's a chill guy. He's super funny.
Yeah,
he went to the basketball game with us last night and all. So.
Yeah, no, he seems a good dude.
He's really good.
But it's just funny. I was like, fuck, this would be a bit awkward. But no, he laughed about it as well. But I like him a lot. He's loving you, so you can tell all the lads about it. So he's loving you because you're taking care of business. Not even from a kicking perspective, just from an attitude perspective. So that's landed.
It's good work too, and all. Like that's important over here too. Like they're really, really strict on it.
Yeah, I mean, but it goes a long way. But I'm not running this call. Dara's running this call. Yeah. I'd say, does everyone have the mics muted there besides you and Conor? That would probably be it.
Yeah. I'm
just on this call, Conor. Hey, I'm curious to hear how you're doing. But more so, just to see what Dara's interviewing abilities are like. I'd say they're limited, so we'll see how he does here. If not, I'll step in to save him.
You can jump in. You jump in and ask some questions as well if you want.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll open up to the room. But yeah,
don't worry. I'm very good at this now. I've done a few of them at this stage, so it's light work to me. In fairness, I learned from the best Conor Mc Ananey. He threw me under the bus one day. He told me he was doing it, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Right there, I'm leaving," and then just jumped out and left me in the call having to do it. So, all right. I think there's like 20 something people here. All right. Yeah. So. This call, lads, just obviously to learn from Conor was in your lads' shoes a year ago, basically. And now he's gone over to America, played in Division 2, performed and bounced up to Division 1. Now he's playing at Florida State University. And everything Conor's done has been right. In fairness to him, he worked really hard and he's deserving to where he's got. But again, it's only the start of his journey as well. So it's really good to have him to make some time to us in the city, Florida, to come in and sit inside and talk to you lads for a little bit to explain about his journey. So as the call's gone on, feel free to ask me questions. I'll give you a chance at the very end. I'll probably talk to him for maybe like 15, 20 minutes maybe. And then at the end of the call, you lads, if you have any questions, he's going. Or if you have any questions that he's shooting along, feel free to jump in and say it then. But to get started, I suppose, Conor, can you just give the lads a brief overview of like your background and how you ended up joining Leader Kicking and how all that kind of started?
Yeah. Well, I first actually went down to Leader Kicking. It was in 2023, living around the time where Charlie and all was starting to go to it. So that was like 2.5 years ago now. But like I only went once. It was in the summertime in July, and this was the very start when Tig's only starting out, and then. I had a good time, but like I never went back to it. I left it for like 1.5 years completely. I just thought this wasn't for me because I went down and like to be honest, I wasn't really that good. And like also and like you see today when I was going through on my phone on like Snapchat memories, like you get 1 year ago today, there's like me kicking down in Mullingar, and I was absolutely terrible. Like terrible. And then, like, so that was basically me getting back into it. So that was around January 2025. But like, I did the Kicking King as well, but like, we weren't going that consistently from August till January. We probably started more in January time. And then I took us out on trips out to Florida and out to Texas. And then that's when things started picking up and I started getting a wee bit better. But like I still probably wasn't as good as like the likes of Locke and guys like that. And I'm probably still
before you get into that stuff, can you just talk about like your background in terms of GA and stuff and what you were playing, kind of sports you played growing up more so?
Yeah. Well, I played primarily Gaelic, and I played a wee bit of soccer, nothing crazy. Just it was all goalkeeping. I only played the soccer for my goalkeeping. I wasn't even thinking about my kicking ability. So, and then I played for Tyrone under-20s and Tyrone minors, and I tried to balance playing under-20s my last year of under-20s with trying to get a college scholarship at the same time. That was really difficult for me to do. And like I probably wouldn't have done it again if I had to redo it. But at the end again, I don't know if I didn't play that, I could have went maybe to a D1, lower D1, and not ended up here. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Obviously, again, that's something that a lot of lads are going through. Pretty much every lad is playing.
The only reason I stuck with the GA was that because I knew we had a good team and might have won something. Other than that, I'd have been done a lot earlier.
But you got to a final, no? Yeah, you got to the final.
We won the whole thing.
Yeah, nice. And yeah, how did you find managing that? Like managing the two? I know you couldn't come to training all the time, but in fairness to you, as far as I know, you still were like doing your own sessions.
Yeah, no, like Tig was right into me, like stuck with me the whole time. So props to him for doing that. Like, he was able to work with me, still get me videos, get me on to coaches, and I was always able to get onto the trips, the important trips, like out to Coles and Texas and Florida and things like that. So, yeah.
Okay. And how did you find when you first started going over to those camps? Like, let's say, when you first started making like the transition into this, did you find like obviously your Gaelic background helped a lot, or you had to change much, or how did you find like the transition from going from kicking a GA ball to
well, in my opinion, it's like I think it's very different kick, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like my kicking form at the start and probably for like the first 5 or 6 months was absolutely atrocious, and that was all GAA kick, and like it's really, really hard to kick that out of you. It's just repetition, like just doing your mental reps and things like that. But like the transition was hard. It was definitely a lot harder than I thought it would have been.
Yeah.
And like I imagine like a lot of people on this call are on the same boat where they think it mightn't come, but like it eventually does click. If you keep working and keep showing up, it'll eventually click, and it'll click like that, and then it'll go up.
Yeah, no, I agree that like everyone that joins, it takes like a lot of guys. It takes like a little bit of time, as I said, to click. Like guys like Carl Campbell, who are over in Western Kentucky, he was training really hard, but Joe, most guys they start off quite well, then they have a small little dip, and they slowly build back up, and then all of a sudden, it seems like all of a sudden it clicks, but then it's more obviously this consistent work, and then all of a sudden you get it, and then you start performing really well. So that's like a standard journey. And then can you talk about the journey from, let's say, doing the Coles to starting over in Quincy, how all that kind of came about and got it happened essentially?
So we did the Coles. We kicked out in Texas, and we got like rankings. It was windy day, so I didn't kick good. I did not kick that good. I could have kicked better, but it is what it is. And then so we got rankings, and then we got like that like helped us like with teams. So and then we were back home. This was in March time. I don't think I got my scholarship maybe till end of May, early June.
Yeah.
So we were still back home training, and then there was teams maybe of interest, and then it doesn't happen, but that's just the way it is. Happens to everyone. And then I just got the next best option, that was to go to Quincy.
Yeah. No, exactly. And then can you talk a little bit about what it was like when you first got over there, and what it was like kind of obviously moving to the States and joining the new team? And
Sorry there, just listening here to Conor, because I'm not thinking of next questions. I'm just listening to him. For lads, I appreciate this on today's call. We have we have the kind of core guys that are training with us that this would make sense to. I think there's some new guys that Dara just opened up to, I think, to 10 people today, or 7 to 10 people, I think, got the chance to join. He just put it on Instagram, so this could be all UT lads, and you might even know who Dara and I are. Would be more than welcome. It's so good listening to Conor, lads, and again, a lot of you might not have the context yet because this is UT. You're from GA or rugby or soccer backgrounds. You might be in Europe somewhere. You might be in Ireland. I'm not sure, but Conor's just kind of passing through his journey really quick. But I think what's really important to understand is the lads. Conor's commitment to this once he got rolling full time was exceptional. As he said, his kicking technique was not great at the beginning, but he was extremely willing to learn. So what that means is he was extremely coachable. His work ethic, like Darren and I love working with Conor because the lad leaves no stone unturned. Even if things didn't click immediately, his work ethic was brilliant. So I just want you to understand that we're kind of quickly going through his journey, but in between there was so much work. He had to drive 3 hours to practice, 3 hours home, so 6 hours round trip. He went ahead and did that. No bother, no questions asked. So although this might sound like a quick enough journey, there was so much in between that he did right. Like Conor would have sent me texts all the time to a point where I was like, Jesus, Conor, give me a break here. I have a personal life. But like, you don't mind at the same time because the lad's doing everything he can possibly do to maximize it. So I just don't want that to go misunderstood as Dara is kind of running through questions with Conor, which he's right to do. But like, I just want you to have a deeper context. For me as his coach, and now Dara is his coach, Conor's attitude is outstanding. I call him and say, Conor, listen, I know you'd like to go to an FBS school or whatever, but you're going to have to go, or Division 1 school, but you're going to have to go D2 right now. Conor's reaction was, no bother, no problem, we're ready to go. Didn't even know, hadn't even probably heard of Kinsey. That didn't matter. He just trusted in the process. He'd go to any level of school, he'd produce, he'd overperform for the school he was in, and obviously now he's getting the rewards. He's at a top school. But I just want to make sure lads understand that like so much detail and work ethic and trust had to go in to get to the point of Quincy, which I think they were now going to start talking about. So just not to gloss over that at all, because there was many hours in the car. There was many hours of trust or times of trust for him and his family where it wasn't very clear. There was a huge commitment to hop on planes to go to America. Obviously all this stuff isn't cheap, but he invested in himself to kind of get the opportunity. And for lads that are starting out this journey, it's not an easy thing, but it's a really exciting thing. So yeah, I just want to make sure I give Conor kudos for what he's done, but also you add more depth to it's not an easy thing. It's enjoyable, but it's not easy. So I think now you're talking about Quincy, but that's a bit more depth for what Conor had to do to even get to Quincy. And then fairness to him, he did everything right. So I'm not sure. I'll leave it back to you there, but I just want to make sure I said that.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything more there about the journey, Conor? That side of it?
No, I just want to say like a few things about like how important it is to be committed, because like I'm not like saying I'm Mr. Dedication here, but like whenever I came home at Christmas, like all I wanted to do was like try and get to a better team, and I went to every single session that there was available over Christmas. And like that's Christmas time, and I could have been out doing whatever I wanted to do, but like I wanted to try and move up, so I went to all the sessions I could have. So that's all I'm saying. It's very important to be committed, and if you have the goal in sight, you have to put into the work. Like as simple as that.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, my dad was telling me like, "Where are you going down the road here on a Wednesday morning?" And I was like, "Because I need to." Like that was my response.
And what you said to me, Conor, was like, "Hey, Conor, we'll maybe get you to, you might end up at a higher level D2 school. You might end up, the goal was obviously Division 1. And I remember you saying, like, I don't care where it is, as long as I'm kind of building towards something bigger, and whether it's this year or next year, that'd be it." So I remember you saying, if I go back to Quincy, no bother, I'll go do it again. Like lads need to understand that you don't end up with Florida State, FSU. Like, there's a shitload of stuff in the background, excuse the language, that must go in when no one's watching, no one's looking. And I just think Conor's attitude is just outstanding. And Dara and I loved it. Like Dara and I would talk about like the kind of lads you want to work with that just say yes, they just trust whatever opportunity you think is best for them at a given time, they just nod their head and say, all right, let's do it. And then fairness to you, Conor, you did that. And Darren and I are going to use you as an example, Conor, for years to come. When the lad wants to go to X, Y, or Z school and just looks, we're just going to use you as the example that just said, I'll go wherever I need to go to get an opportunity, because it's often the hardest step's the first step. And in fairness, you took advantage of it, but you did everything right. So I know we're talking a lot about this, but like I do think it's important for guys to get perspective and context. Like we're not all going to go to Alabama like Dortmund or UNC like Adam off the bat. There's a lot of work in the meantime, and sometimes you are good enough to go to that level, but the American, you don't have gameplay, you don't have a whole lot of exposure, so you got to go put it on tape. So I just think you're kind of a great example for guys to understand. You're a good example of just saying yes to any opportunity and then trust that you're good enough to take advantage of it, which look at you now. And this is only in a short period of time. So yeah, that's enough of me harping on that, but I think it's important context for lads.
Yeah. Cheers. Yeah, so back to the question from a few minutes ago. Yeah, what was it like when you first, Joe, everyone here is coming from small towns in Ireland or all over Europe, and it's obviously a big change to move over to the States and play American football and move to a new place. So what was all that like when you first moved to Quincy and new team?
Personally for me, like it was like pure excitement, because like I was like so looking forward to being in the like professional environment, because like I remember we were getting our schedules for the fall camp, and it was all laid out like morning, breakfast, lift, and I was like, this is fantastic. Like I was like, brilliant routine, like just getting stuck in it right away. So like I suppose I sort of missed that like initial like homesickness. I never really got any of that, thank God. But like if maybe my training schedule wasn't as intense when I went in, I might have maybe had like maybe more homesickness. But like homesickness, thank God, has been nothing that I have struggled with or anything like that. And like I loved the transition, and it was really, really smooth for me.
And then so yeah, just really talking about that as well, like can you explain to people that don't know what a day in the life of a player is like when you're in school and when you're, let's say in preseason or in fall camp or spring camp? What's like a day in the life like between
like,
school and everything else?
I'm up 5:30 every morning, and then like we're into the weight room. Okay, we left at 7, and like you're running, you go onto the AstroTurf, and then you're running, and then you're going in and lifting weights, and then you have like your breakfast after your mandatory breakfast, and then we usually go to like some recovery units or whatever, and then it's straight to class, and then maybe you have to go to like sometimes like the different musician groups are tutored together. So like at 4:30 or 5, we had the specialists all going to tutoring and things like that. Like it's brilliant.
Wait, sorry, so how long will your day be then, as in like from start to finish? Is it like 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. or what? Like giving you...
Right now, I'm not in my apartment much. I'd say it's like 5 to 6. Yeah, 5 to 6.
And then what time are you going to bed at?
I try and go to bed right and early right now, so I would like to think I'm asleep at 10:30 most nights, 10:30. Yeah.
I was about to say something smart.
No, I think we're all taking I'll be asleep by 9. We say really early, but yeah, go back. Yeah. Just say so that's in spring ball. So for lads to understand, right now Conor's not in competition semester. They're just in a training development. Hence why he's running. He mentioned running. Talk about what it's like now, say in fall camp, leading into the season. So pre-season to lads that play rugby Gaelic football, how that differs from, which is August time take. How does that differ from today?
Fall camp's really, really intense. Like really intense. Like that's when things are decided. Like that's when like who kicks is going to be. Like whoever kicks the best is going to win the job, basically. So fall camp is probably the most important thing you're going to do, because it sets you up for the rest of the year, and like it is constant. Like you're up in the morning, then you have a meeting right away, and then you're on this pitch, then you have another meeting, and then maybe a team meeting every night. Like it's consistently crazy. Like it's like the top professional you can get. Like it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It was like out of Quincy, like it was constant.
So yeah, just like, can you actually say that? Was there any difference between, so he was at Quincy first and then he moved up this year to Florida State University, but was there any difference in that training this time last, or like that you did, let's say, I suppose you weren't there during this time last year, but like the preseason training you done in Quincy versus the spring camp now, was there much of a difference, or was it pretty much the same?
The only thing is more weight training. That's it. But like
More weight training now.
Yeah, but the time load is the exact same.
Okay.
So top level Division 1 FBS versus would you call it a mid-tier Division 2 school last year?
Yeah.
That's fair to say. So there's obviously the resources are different, but in terms of how you're as a student or an athlete, it doesn't sound like a whole lot of a difference.
No, it's the exact same format.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good for lads to know as well. That like, so wherever you go, you're like
it's not like you go on D2 and you're just playing games. That's not the way it is. Like, you have to do everything else. Like, that's the way it is.
and actually explain to that, or just explain like how your scholarship works in terms of like getting food and all those things. Like, what's your daily schedule in terms of like meals and how that works?
Or here?
Yeah, or just yeah.
So right now, I probably get most of my food at the facility. Okay, and we get this wee thing called like a red card.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you're given, so you can go to like a place called Sir Churros, which I go to like every day. It's like a wee burrito place, and I always go there for my food. And then we always get like our nutrition shakes after our weight training, which is really good. I always go for the heavy one because I put on a bit of weight. So yeah, and then we always get mandatory team breakfast as well. And then, as you see, like in my wee videos that I post, there is a nutrition bar. Okay, like there's anything you want in that nutrition bar, and like it's free to grab. Like you can take whatever you want, and like there's like maybe two or three of them bars, and like just anything there you need, it's there. Like, and you can take home like supplements like creatine, your vitamins. Like you can take that home. It's just brilliant.
Of class. No, man, I wish I had that free food all day long to bulk up. And actually, how much would you say you've just? This is me genuinely asking. Have you gained much weight since you've moved there, and or like?
I was 190 this morning.
And what were you when you were back here?
Like 177, 78.
Okay, nice. Pack on.
I was benching 265 or 2.
Yeah,
this morning.
Yeah, nice class. Yeah, it definitely helps. You probably were a little bit underweight back here.
Yes.
And again, putting on a little bit of weight and getting bigger, faster, stronger. You're only going to hit the ball further.
Yeah.
You do. Class. So
just on that, coaches love lads who are athletic. Not everyone needs to be 6. Conor's probably 6'1", 6'2", Conor?
6'2", 6'3".
Not everyone. Not Conor's probably in fairness. We probably have about 6'2", 6'3" is fair. I think he turned up first and told me he's like 6'5" or something. chancing himself. But anyway, not everyone. Your height is your height. Yes, if a lot of that is, it is what it is. Coaches tend to like bigger lads just because you physically look more developed. But regardless of your height, coaches love lads that come across as athletes. One thing we prided ourselves on as Irish and now European lads who go out. Some of us were not with traditional in-game experience. They love to see guys that are solid athletes, well put together, that like to go to the gym, want to get into the gym and compete. They're not just a kicker on the side. So for you guys, it's really important to understand that that's an opportunity to set yourself apart from some other specialists. Because some of the American specialists, they're not always the most developed athletes. Some are, absolutely, some of them are, but not all of them are. Whereas every guy we send is an athlete. So that's why Dara does the strength and conditioning programs. For guys that are on this with us for the first time, they just saw this on Instagram. Part of like the leader kicking development program is strength and conditioning to maximize guys. And in fairness, Conor just talked about gaining whatever 10, 15 pounds since he's been out there. It's an opportunity to take yourself apart. Charlie Smith was kicking with us today. Charlie's like well put together now. He's put on a lot of size since he's gone out to America. Go on, Conor.
It's like really, really important that what you're saying, because like you don't want to be the guy in the weight room that can't do the weights and everyone else can do them, because like, trust me, like, you don't want to be that guy, because, and like, it's, even when you're doing your conditioning, like, we do this thing called tour of duty. It's absolutely ridiculous, like, it's crazy. But if you don't want to be the guy that messes up the drills and then makes everyone else have to repeat it, like, you don't want, that's the person you don't want to be. So like, you need to make sure your conditioning's on point and everything like that.
Yeah, I like it. You're not just kicking for athletes. Just to go back to your first, obviously everyone in this call, well, 90% of us, when you first go to America and go to your first training session and play your first game, that's your first time doing it, because most of us don't play here at home or whatever. But what was that experience like when you first went over there and were in your first like training sessions, and then you went into your first game after that?
Yeah, no, I was really looking forward to like first session. I think we started with like PAT field goals, so it was maybe just like, we only maybe had 6 or 7 kicks, and I was maybe hoping we'd maybe be kicking like maybe 25 kicks, but like we only got 6 or 7. But like, that's the way it is over here. Like, you don't go kicking 20 or 30 balls. Like, that's not the way it is.
Yeah.
Which is something a lot of people have to get used to, because it's a lot different than back at home. But like, I was really happy, like, how everything was like set up, how the sessions like were all organized and all. Like, it was really good. And then my first game, I actually had a field goal in my first game, and I missed it because I don't know, I was just like, I was really nervous, like, because I'm obviously like, I'm trying to do good, so nerves come naturally whenever you're trying to do good at something. So, but like, you live and you learn, and like, you learn from your mistakes, so you just have to keep going. Like, you can't really let them things annoy you.
Yeah. And sorry, just back to that, even like in your first sessions, were you nervous in your first sessions, like going out and kicking and not knowing what's going on? And
yeah, absolutely.
And how did you overcome that? Like, how did that feel?
Repetition, getting more confident doing it every day.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Yeah, actually, one thing I should just do is, I just said it, when you missed that first kick, I do remember you like jumping on call with Kai to figure out.
I texted Kai immediately as soon as we got into the locker room, when everyone was like, the head coach was talking. I was sitting texting Kai. I was like, I can't believe I missed. Like, I was so pissed off, but
yeah, no, it happens. It's all about bouncing back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. Then, what was it like when you made the jump from? I just explained to people what you were doing in Quincy as well, as regard kicking and kickoffs. What your role was there?
I just kicked field goals and kicked off. That was it.
Nice. And how did you find like just generally kicking in America versus in Ireland? Was it easier? Was it harder?
It's easier, but like, some places in America can get very harsh wind. Like, I know whenever we played Owen O'Sullivan's team in Chicago, it was very windy, and I was like, why is it super windy here? But like, that's just the way it was. And then we went to like upper Iowa. It was really cold. So like, there is differences in the weather, but whenever it's a good day in America, it's a good day and the ball will fly. And like, for the majority of the places that you'll be in, the summertime up until late October time will be very good.
Yeah.
Like,
And what's that difference like from Quincy to FSU? I presume the weather's obviously it's much better there.
The weather here is like 20 times better.
No, I'm sure it is. And then just to go back to talk about just like the kicking and stuff, and back to mindset stuff. What do you? I know we haven't talked much actual kicking stuff here, but like, what is your mindset when you're about to take a kick? And like, even those first few kicks, or even the kick after you miss, like that next kick after you miss, what was going through your head?
I remember talking to Ty with this whenever I was actually in Quincy, and then like, he gave me some wee thing to write down, and it was like, I had to get like these cue pointers in my head. So it was like, swing hard, skip. Like, whenever I skip or my plant foot shift forward, that's whenever I usually have a good kick. So like, that's what I always try to make sure. I made sure to skip and get downfield, and the ball should most of the time go through the target. Wherever your chest finishes, the ball should be going there.
Yeah. So that's what you were thinking about in that first kick, like when you're waiting to go out.
My very first kick was just, do not get blocked. That was the wrong thing though. That's the completely wrong thing to think. And like I knew that right away. Like I should not have been thinking that, but that's just the way I was thinking at the time.
Yeah, no, I get you. Like, even myself, when I was doing my first kick as well, you're kind of like, oh, please just score. But as you tell everyone at training, like all the time, especially even the lads today, it wasn't our best session on the closer in kicks. We weren't far out, but a lot of lads, I think, were on that mindset. They weren't being positive. They were like thinking, oh, it's really close. It's a 20-yard free goal. I'll just chip it over. But like, you should always switch that and be like, I'm going to hammer, like not hammer, but like, I'm going to bang this through the post. Be confident about it. And obviously, you see that's what you changed was instead of being nervous, you're like, fuck, I'm going to smash this over.
Yeah.
Bang it. Yeah. No, that's massive. That's massive. And then actually just explain like what's the school and schooling and stuff is like around, like what's it like going to class? How'd you find all of the education side of it?
And like going to class here, it's really, really cool. Like big campus and all, like there's a pile of people walking around, like it's crazy. It's a really cool experience for me, like just getting to see a whole pile of people walking around and all. And then like the classes so far easy, so hopefully they keep going like that. And
like, so like, yeah, did you find school hard back at home and you find it easy over there, or like in terms of
10 times easier over here?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, every person that goes over from Ireland, like I did it as well myself, and as did Ty, like the American system is way more built for you to be successful because just, I don't know, it's just easier. I think Americans, it's way more continuous assessment. It's way more
like I have a quiz like all the time in classes, and it's just 10 times better than just having to do one big exam at the end of the year, which is just stupid. So,
it is, exactly.
Then you also have your online classes as well. So I take 5 classes right now. So
how many hours a week is that?
I'm in that class every day.
So how many hours a day is it? So
an hour and a half, I'd say, of class a day.
So each class an hour and a half, or is each class 45 minutes or what?
There's one class is like 2 hours, and then the rest of them are just shorter.
Okay, fair enough. And most classes actually, are they like big classes, small classes, or everything in between, or what are they like?
Pretty small, actually. Like it's basically just like I'm not in a big lecture hall or anything. I'm just like in a normal classroom that you would get like in a high school back at home.
Okay, that's class. Yeah, way more like personal. And do you find actually like, that's why you don't know this, but like are the lecturers generally like sound to chat to, and like you can talk to them and they're way more open?
Yeah.
But for me anyway, like, do you get the same kind of vibe from them?
Yeah. And then we also get like tutors as well. So I try and maximize the tutors as well because I'm not the smartest person in the world. So I try to go to them whenever I get the chance. And they're really willing to help too. Yeah.
Okay, that's class. And then, sorry, just I'm coming towards the end of my questions, lads, but obviously in a few minutes I'll give you guys the floor to ask anything you want. But can you actually just talk about as well what it's like adapting to like an American changing room versus a GA changing room, or like just whatever, how that feels, or what's like, just what do you know what the difference is, or
like there's
the crack difference,
like because like there's a whole pile of different cultures in America, and there's a whole pile of different like people listen to different music and all, so there's a whole pile of things you have to get adjusted to. Like I'm in where I am in my locker room is there's 4 specs, like so our locker rooms are facing each other, so we have the 4 specs on a row here, and the rest of them are D linemen and wide receivers, and they're all just blasting tunes and all, dancing about, and we're sitting in the corner just speaking. Yeah. So like it's completely different. It's completely different.
Yeah, no, it is. And actually, just on that, can you explain to people that how, like, Joe, for you during a game, what it's like being a kicker? Because obviously, kicker, you're very separate to everyone else in terms of, as the game's going on. Like, what are you doing on the sideline when the game's happening? You're not kicking. Are you over by yourself? Are you with your lads, or what are you doing?
Well, I would like to. I don't want to be like super rigid and like really, really, really locked in, but I try and be locked in, but like also be able to like relax and like actually watch the game and what's going on, but then also being able to lock in whenever it's fourth down time. Whenever you know where they're not getting the down, you need to get ready for the field goal. So start getting some dry reps in your holder and snapper, start getting some kicks in the net, just the basic things like that.
And then would you follow the same, like in terms of just general training sessions then, what is that like for you? As in, I know you said you did field at the start in Quincy, but in Florida, how are your sessions? Well, obviously you don't know, I suppose, now, do you? But at Quincy, how do the sessions look for you? Like what was the session, the way the session was made up for the kickers?
Just start with field goals. So like 6 or 7 field goals.
As in the very start of the session, the first thing
Yeah,
the team done was
first thing we did is field goal. We had a stretching obviously before that, but
yeah,
always PAT field goal first, and then you would have been into punt installs, and then you would have had kickoff. So like that would have been, we only kicked off once a week. So we only kicked off on a Thursday in Quincy, and then we kicked field goals on Tuesday and Thursday. So
okay. And then would so like you start the session, everyone straight away just straight field goals, everyone around watching you bang kicks.
Yeah.
Nice. And do you thrive on that? Do you love that, or how does that feel?
Yeah. No, like I'd rather do it at the start.
Yeah.
Than we wait around kick. Yeah.
So then, what do you do for the rest of the session?
Just basically stood around, maybe helped quarterbacks get some balls. Not a pay, like.
So you were kind of basically done with your session 10 minutes into the session.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you do any kicks?
Some places you could be maybe the last 10 minutes. You don't know, like.
Yeah. No, in my place when I was playing, mine was near the end of the session. Not the last thing we'd do, but we like the last. So our sessions might go on for an hour and a half, and you were in the last half an hour. So I was the opposite. I had to wait around a lot to get going and do like practice like field goals. So you wouldn't do any more field goals once you got your block done. Will you just be done then, or did you keep it involved?
That'd be me done.
Yeah, called the credit. Okay, fair enough. You got to save the leg.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask one more question before I open up to the floor, but just in general, would you have any advice for like all these lads here on the call? Some of them are obviously we've never seen before. It's the first ever time interacting with us, but just our lads in general, like what you advise to give them to try and be successful in this? And then, yeah, just how to like the best tips or tidbits you have to help them along their journey.
Just stick at it. Like you just got to keep showing up. Every single session you have to keep showing up, because there's going to be times where you're going to think you're not getting any better, and like why am I not getting better? But like you have to keep at the sessions, keep continuing, keep working with Tag and Dara, and just keep the head down and staying locked in everything you do. Like it's once you get into this environment, it is professional. Like it is a professional environment. Like it is pro sport.
Yeah.
Like you have to prepare like an athlete. You have to prepare like a professional athlete, and think like one, and just act like one as well. Like it's just that's the things you have to do.
Yeah. No, in fact, exactly what Conor said. You have to treat this like professional sports, because it is like some of Ireland's highest paid athletes are now, and European athletes are coming through this American football. Like college football is full blown professional. Obviously, scholarships themselves are worth a couple $100,000. Players can get paid that. On top of that, it's like it's full blown professional sports. So for guys that are new, like you have to give it the commitment that deserves, because again, the reward is massive. And we're lucky, most of us come from sports where it makes the transition a little bit easier, and we can kind of bypass a lot of what the Americans have to do. But again, it all comes back to you lads joining, getting involved, doing the work, consistently getting better, and at the end of that, if you reach the standards that we have set, then you get the reward as well. So, and it's very, very achievable, as Harry's done. A lot of lads have done it for you. All right.
I'd love to just 2 or 3 minutes for me. I'd love to hear a question. I can see who's on the call. I'd love to hear Mark Fitzgerald ask a question.
Yeah, no worries at all. I'd say, what was your biggest adjustment from coming to Ireland to the States, like off the pitch wise? And then obviously on the pitch wise, I kind of heard a bit more about it, but more off the pitch, I'd say, what was your biggest adjustment?
Off the pitch is probably I'm on my own now, so I have to like maybe go out of my own comfort zone, that maybe speak to more people and things like that, and like go and approach people and like get to know people better, instead of like maybe, because like I didn't really know anyone when I went there, so it was really important for me to put myself out there and like speak to other people. And then what was the end of the question about on the pitch?
Yeah, just like regarding, obviously you mentioned your training and stuff like that, but just a bit more on that. Like, what would you say was the number one biggest adjustment for like playing from going to play like Gaelic football to obviously
Probably like the sheer importance of how way everyone takes it over here, because like it's ridiculously important over here, because like I know the place where I'm at right now is like a huge college fan base, so it's really, really important. So just understanding, the biggest thing is just understanding like how important this actually is. Like, even though like you're an Irish guy over there, you mightn't understand, but like you have to buy into it. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. Funnily, there's a very funny connection between you two. Conor and Mark, I was in a restaurant in Western Carolina, and the lady that was serving me said there's two teams she supports, Western Carolina and Florida State University. And then she was telling me randomly she didn't like the kickers they had. And she was like, I was telling her how I'm probably going to solve both of the team's problems. And so she's like, she told me she's going to keep an eye out on the 2E when you can start playing. So 2E have to make this lady happy. Mark, you'll probably meet her.
Yeah, another one is I know Conor knows this himself, but both our snappers are both brothers. Both our snappers are brothers as well, so it's a coincidence as well.
Yeah.
Just for me, one last star before we open to the floor, and there were two great questions, Mark. I'd love to hear from Craig Toohey. What question would you have, Craig, for Conor? If you can unmute your mic.
Me?
No, the other Craig Toohey. Craig Toohey.
Just Joe, like switching into Gaelic. Like, do you like miss the Gaelic?
Sadly, I do not.
All right.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, I don't. To be honest, I generally don't. Like, I know it sounds bad saying this, but like, I don't like plan on playing it again, all being well.
Yeah, and like when you started off, how long in before did you drop Gaelic at all?
No, I stuck at it just because the sheer fact we had a really good under-20 team, and I wanted to maybe get another All Ireland. So I stuck at it the whole time until like the last month and a half, because I wasn't finished Gaelic until May 2025. So, and I didn't leave until like June or July. So I kept it on the whole time. But like, if you're only playing your club football, like I'd just recommend just cut it.
Yeah, that's all.
Nice.
Cheers.
Good question, Craig. Bye. All right. Anyone else got any questions, or else Tyke's going to pick you out?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, when you went over there for both the D2 and D1 squads, did the special teams unit coaches do much work with you in terms of developing your technique even more, or were you pretty sound when you went over there?
Well, technically I was fundamentally sound, but like the way the American coaches seem to do, they like special teams coach, they don't always work with like your technique. They're working on like actual tactics of playing. So that's maybe sometimes people get confused. Like you're not going to have a tag over there. Like there's not going to be someone like to teach you how to kick. But like maybe in some places it could be like that, because like I know right now the team where I'm at, like our special teams coordinator is brilliant. Like he always like texts us, and when we go out to kick and all, I want to come out and watch. Like he is like top notch. And then at Quincy it was sort of more just like we do our reps and then maybe just critique some things, but like nothing serious.
Yeah.
Like you're usually fundamentally sound with all the training you put in, so you should be good.
So it's like it's more of like an overview management thing that they do rather than.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
I see Max Campion has his hand up 3 times, so you're up next.
No, he's number 3 in line actually. If you see in the
Oh, is
top
that
right
what
of the
it is?
screen there, yeah. If you moderate this now, here you go. There's 1, 2, 3, max 3.
Okay, Dan, you're up. Dan Jordan. If I don't hear from him, I'll move on to Owen. Going once, going twice. You're gone. Oh, you're there.
Yeah. I
Alright.
have a question in terms of like the gym. Like, what does your gym program look like? And does your SNC coach have targets for you? Let's say you have to be able to lift this weight in a certain amount of time, or you know.
Yeah, well, the gym right now is, we were in a 5-day-a-week block, and then so it was all upper body, lower body, like everything you do. But like, there's also like these new lifts that I would never have done before, like hang cleans, power cleans, snatches, like all them Olympic lifts, and they are difficult to get used to at the start. Like once you get used to them, they're really good for your kicking, because it's all like explosive movement. And like there's a thing that I work on and I'm really good at it. It's like vertical jumping. Like I've got a really good vertical, and like I think it's like really important for my kicking. So like I put a lot of work into that. And then we also were on now to a 3-day gym block. Okay, so it's just 3 full body days, and we have this thing called Tour of Duty, and it's like these army workouts indoors, and it is the most mentally challenging thing. I already told Tag about it. I already texted him. It's like the most mentally challenging thing you'll do, but like it's all about mental toughness, and like just the main thing, if you ever at that stage, is just don't give up. Like you can't, just don't give up. But like the gym work is incredible, and like I absolutely love it. So.
Sorry, just on the Olympic lift stuffs, yeah. Did you find that obviously the hard enough exercise to get going, but as you said, like that's when you like clean and jerk or clean anyway is like such a good exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, like once you get used to them, it's all technique. But once you get used to them, they are brilliant. They're brilliant.
And are you doing snatches as well?
Yeah.
Mad. Like snatches is a very technical exercise. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mad. What sort of weight do they have you doing?
Well, I'm not doing that much. I'm only doing like 70 kg. It's not
70 kg snatch.
No, it's not. Maybe like 60.
Okay, no, it's good. I'm saying that's good. Yeah, as in like I would have done clean and jerking for years, or clean, and it's like a class exercise. But yeah, it's a tough one to learn. It takes a while to learn, but yeah, if you get good at it, it's a great one for power.
Yep.
All right, Max, I think you're up.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was just wondering how you like learn to follow through on your kicks and like eliminate like the soccer GA like style of kicking.
Just for me, it was probably just constant repetition and a lot of like dry swings, like just even if you walking and swinging your leg and like just skipping through, because like I know it sounds so stupid, but like sometimes I'd be walking along the road and I maybe just swing my leg and skip straight. Like it's just wee things like that that can help your kick, and like just training your body to follow through downfield. Like it's just all about training your body to be in that position. Like just making sure your plant foot is like shifting forward, and maybe sometimes you maybe go a wee bit left. I go a wee bit left. It doesn't. It's still like it doesn't really matter. But as long as you're following through and you're going somewhere, like it's good for your kick.
Thank you.
And flexibility is super important for the follow through. I do a lot of flexibility, like with bands and everything like that, and it's super important. And also your hip flexors, they're all really important for your follow through.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Next question. You think Charlie? If you're still there, Charlie Thomas. I'll give him 3, 2.
Just need to make sure you're muting your mic, which should be in the bottom left if you're on a laptop or in your phone. If you can hear us, Charlie.
If not, I'll jump to Garrett. You can go.
Or things. We see coaches as like these like big scary figures on TV.
what would they be like on a personal with the play?
Oh no, like super chill. Like I'd be quite like, I would be quite outgoing. Like I would speak to everyone first. So like I'd be really, I'd be good with that, dealing with them type of guys. Just like they will like you. So you just have to just like put yourself out there, and like they'll be good.
All right, so
Nice garage. Christian, I think you're up.
Well, how's it going? Sorry, just wondering, how does like a change room kind of mix, or like, do you guys do like social events, or like, would you be close as a team? Because I know it probably.
Yeah. Like we'll be very close to the team, like especially here, because like our head coach is like really big on specialists. So like we're always with the team all the time.
Yeah.
And even when we're training, doing our runs, we're running with the offense and the wide receivers. So we're always around their group. And like even as I said, in our locker room position, like we are like, and like where the linemen are and the wide receivers and all, like we've been talking away all the time. So it all mixes really easy. Like it's a lot easier than you think.
Okay, nice. Thank you, Conor.
Yeah, no worries.
Nice. I think Charlie, you've stuck your hand up again, so we'll come back to you.
Yeah, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, just obviously because you were playing Division 2 and then you made the move up to Division 1. Like, what separates the Division 1 kickers from Division 2? Like, is it your attitude? Is it your technique? Like, what separates the lads who are playing Division 1 from the lads who are playing Division 2?
Well, like I'm not gonna say it's attitude or anything like that, because like there's obviously plenty of talented kickers that are in Division 2 that have really good attitudes. But like, I don't know, it's probably just like your ability, to be honest. Like, and like just it's probably ability, to be honest, and maybe like your genetics or your frame or something like that, because there's some like really good kickers and just go into the frame for it, and just like length of your limbs. It's just something like things like that can separate just the smallest things.
Okay,
And
thank you.
It's not always to do with your athletic ability or your personality. It could just simply be your genetic makeup.
Yeah.
And it's also worth noting, sometimes it's literally timing of an opportunity. I mean, Conor was good enough to be kicking Division 1 last year, but just that's the timing of him. There's loads of it. Like a lot of NFL kickers have played Division 2. So yes, like there is the ability stuff for sure, which is important. But sometimes you're good enough, but there's just not a job available in Division 1, and you got to bide your time and do a year or D2. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means right now the timing didn't align. And like I've got a couple of lads, so that's worth noting as well. It's not as simple as just being, oh, he's a clear D1, he's clearly D2. A lot of D2 kickers are every bit as good. It's just timing of the opportunity and also the indicating factor. So I just add that to what Conor said.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyone else have any questions? I'll give it a few seconds. If not, I will leave it. Do you have anyone to say? Just I suppose even there's new guys here that haven't joined us before. So I know there's maybe like 10 guys come on from Instagram. I'll come back to you in 2 seconds, Mark. Just as like if you want to get involved in this, the best way is to trying to attend an open camp. There's one happen in Newry this weekend. If you've missed an opportunity to sign up for it, but because you've come to this, send me a DM. It's sold out, which I think it is now. At this stage, they're both sold out. Because you came to this, if you want to come and you didn't know about it or whatever, just send me a DM and I'll get you involved to this again. But that's the best way to get started, and then get to an open session, and you can get started that way and get involved, and that's how the ball gets rolling. That's how you end up being like Conor, putting work ethic, commitment, work hard, train, be smart about it, do the off the field stuff correct, do the on the field stuff correct, and you might end up like Conor, sitting over in Florida in the sunshine, working hard by the pool and getting his degree on scholarship. That's the end goal. And kicking in big stadiums and under pressure and all that cool stuff that comes with it.
Absolutely.
Do you have that in Tig?
I think Mark is on, did he? Or
Oh
no?
crap! Sorry, Mark. Yeah, I meant to loop back to you.
Yeah, no worries. Just Conor, you mentioned just a bit about the culture. How big was like the culture shock for you? Like how big sporting culture is in America, especially obviously American football for college.
Yeah, like huge culture shock. That sort of way. I probably didn't think it would be as like crazy it was made out to be, but like it really is. Like it's life or death for these people over here. Like it's super important over here to these guys. Like some of the coaches, like we're doing our training, like you swear they're going absolutely crazy, but like that's just the way they're brought up, and like that's just the culture they have with the sport. Like it's next to none. Like it's insane.
Yeah, cheers.
Nice, Mark. I think Garo or Max. Sorry, Max. You can go quickly. There's a few questions. I think that's the last 3 questions. I'm going to finish with Sean. So 3 more questions, and then we'll call her a day. So Max, you can go first.
For either you or Tig is like the only way to get in with you is if you go to an open session and just perform well, and you think you'd be worth like taking on.
Yeah. So our system is just because like we've lots of people wanting to join, and we can't accommodate everyone right now. So the way your way to join is by firstly training away yourself. If you can get a ball from Elvery's or get a ball from Football America UK, practice. So then when you come to these open camps, you're already a step ahead everyone else there, because most lads that come to those, it's their first ever session. But then from those camps, if you perform well, then we'll either you message me after saying you're keen to get involved, then I'll decide if I think you're ready right now, or maybe you might be ready in a few months' time. Like Jack Cassidy came to one, wasn't the best, kept working away himself for a year by himself, then came back and now he's one of the best kickers in college football. So it doesn't always happen in the first one, but yeah, that's the process. Come to an open camp, and then from there, if you perform well and do pretty well, then we'll invite you into the program. But as I said, we're not perfect about how we do it, so we may miss guys. So just because we don't pick you on the first go or the second go doesn't mean you're not good enough for this. Lots of guys we've missed first or second time out, and they come back and train themselves, and all of a sudden they're very good. So that's the process. Yeah. Can I answer your question? Sound. Garage.
Conor, you were saying earlier about team meetings that you have every day. What would the meetings be, team and position wise? Would they be like more team wise, or would they be like culture building, or what would they be?
I didn't get that.
I didn't get them most of that.
He's asking team meetings would be more kind of scheme based or more culture based. So what would team meetings look like?
Yeah, well, right now, because we're starting out and it's like a whole like brand new sort of team over here, it's more like culture based right now, trying to get everyone to buy in. Like the culture, like we have this thing called like keep climbing, like where you're before your workouts, you maybe clap like 3 times, or you're before your team meeting, clap 3 times, says eyes up, and then you have to shout keep climbing. Like it's sort of like buying in the culture like that, and then obviously. And then the rest, that's when at the very start, but then the rest of the meeting is all like about schemes and just like keeping everyone in line, like keeping top of academics and everything like that. So like it's mostly scheme based, yeah.
All right, thanks.
No worries.
And then last but not least, Sean.
Well, Conor, how are things?
Nice, thanks.
You were saying you came from a football background. Like your first few months weren't great. Like, how do you get over that hump? Like, it gets to the level you're at now. Is there anything in particular you done outside of the sessions or anything?
Whenever I was like kicking with Tig at the very start.
Yeah.
Well, like I would have kicked. Like we would have met up. Lucky enough, I had 3 guys who stayed, like Conor Mc Ananey, Jack Cassidy, Lorcan Quinn. So we would have met up during the week to maybe get some extra work in. And like we were very fortunate to have that. So like we would have been doing a wee bit of extra work on our own. But like the way you're improving it's just consistency. Like you have to keep showing up every day. Like that's the only way you're going to get better. Like there's no point going to a session and then not going again for another 3 weeks. Like you have to be going every Sunday. Like, and if that means like you have to miss Saturday nights out, so be it. Like, but that's how you get better, and like that's how you will get to where you want to get to if you want to get there.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Nice. Right, that's a good one to finish on, lads. Again, yeah, you're not going to get better by just training once a week or twice. Joe, try and get 3 sessions in a week, and especially for guys that this is the only sport you're playing. In order to maximize your chances of playing college football, you need to be training away yourself. As I always say, take notes, figure out what you're doing wrong, have goals going into the next session, have goals for the month, have goals for everything you're doing in the gym. And then slowly but surely, week over week over week, you'll start getting better and better and better. That's what Conor done. That's what he did for the last 2 weeks. That's what he's done for the last 2 years. And now he's over in America teaching the next generation. Next Conor Mc Ananey is coming through. So big thank you to Conor for doing it. Cheers for taking time out of their busy day to put over pass on to the next generation. And Ty, do you have anything to say, or are we done? Happy?
No, cheers to everyone for making an effort to come on. Conor, big thank you to you for, as Dara said. But I think your journey is a good example to lads as to you're not always going to start at the top, and a lot of time and effort goes in when no one's looking. And then you started at a perceived lower level, but you progressed. But you own the opportunity you got, and like I said, lads, all they can ask for is an opportunity. And lastly, what I'll say is make sure you give Conor a follow on Instagram, because he's becoming a social media influencer now. So don't leave the lad hanging. At Conor Mc Ananey, he's lethal with the better glasses. So good man, Conor, and thank you very much for that. Yeah, no, keep it up. Your coach texted me today, man. He loves you. He loves what you're doing. I don't think I told you this. He loves what you're doing. Like he loves your energy. He loves your kind of work ethic around everything. He didn't even text me much about your kicking, which I know he does like, but it's more around he loves we went to that thing we just started minutes ago, that army thing you did. He just loved the fact. I think he said to me, at times you looked lost, but it didn't matter, you just kept working. He loved that. And then in training now, he just loves your attitude, that you just keep your effort is always obvious, your commitment is always obvious. If you can't fault you. And I know Darren, I know that as well. So I think that's a really good message to lads. It's just, I know everyone says work hard, but like that really is a bare minimum. And it's so obvious when a lad does all the right things, just like Conor's done. We saw it instantly. Your coach in Florida sees it instantly. So love to see it. But anyway, look, that's enough. Keep doing your thing. Thanks to all the lads for turning up. Thanks to Darren for moderating the call, Conor for turning up, and all the lads for asking questions. And for all the new guys, shoot Leader Kick an Instagram page, a DM if you're interested in coming to training. The rest of you lads, keep working hard, and we'll see where that gets you.
Sound, lads. If you guys, I won't do film with you right now, but if you guys that want me to look at your clips, just send them to me, and I'll look at them on WhatsApp tomorrow morning. So WhatsApp me whatever you want me to look at, and I'll do it tomorrow morning. Besides that, all right. Thank you very much, Conor. Thank you, Ty.
Yes, no problem. All right, thank you. Bye.
See you, boys. See you, fellas.